Let's go. Let's go. We're here for day 4 of the 5-day money challenge. Of course, I'm your chief learning officer, Nia, and we're gonna give a time for people to come in. Let me know how you all doing today. Can you believe we've been doing this for 4 days straight? Like, I don't know about you all, but it's been a week. It's been a week for me. Let me just say that. So, just getting myself ready. Um, Kind of what I'm doing while I wait for people to come in. Slides. Do. How are you all doing today? How are we doing? I'm doing good. Very busy week. It's close to the end, but it still feels like it's not quite there yet because I still have a few things to do. But nevertheless, I'm happy that it's Thursday. I feel like I'm getting closer to my weekend and I'm kind of excited for the weekend because there's a break in my near future. I get to just have a break this weekend. So I'm excited about that personally. But yeah, so just getting myself ready while we give time for everybody to come in. Ba, 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 da, 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 ah, Okay, so I need to do this. Let me know how y'all doing today while I get myself set up. We ready? We ready for today? Okay, let me get my TikTok going. I got a whole system I have to do when I get online to get hold on. Do. Da, 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 da. Okay, bam. Says I'm live already. How we doing? Who's here already? Hold on. Where are we at? Oops, delete that. How you all doing? Who's here? Who's here? And where we checking in from? We ready for day 4? Are we really ready? Are we ready? So today is day 4 of the 5-day Master Your Money Challenge. I thought about changing the name of it to the 5-day Money Makeover Challenge, but I feel like Master Your Money sounds better. And if it says Money Makeover, I feel like it's too close to other. I can't right now. Can't take that call. So I decided I'm just going to leave it at Master Your Money. And it goes well because my membership is called the Money Mastery Academy. So I feel like calling my challenge the Master Your Money Challenge goes with it. Or maybe I should change it to the 5-day Money Mastery Challenge. But I feel like Master Your Money sounds a little bit better. But how we doing? I see we got 2 people on here already. Are we ready to get started today? I don't know. Can you guys hear me? Let me check and see if you guys can hear me. Da, 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 da. Let me see. Audio. Damn. Okay. It's on the right mic. Ba, ba, ba. Oh, ooh, ooh. How we doing? How we doing? Happy Friday Eve. Happy Friday Eve. Okay, so we're not going to keep it too long. I know it's Thursday. We've been through a lot of stuff and we're getting close to the end of it. I do want to remind you all that it's a giveaway tomorrow. I haven't had anybody post any badges yet. So what I'm thinking is I might find another way to do the giveaway tomorrow. One of my friends uses the giveaway when they go live, and I asked them about how it works yesterday. So I have to look into it to see how to do it, the full details, but I might be able to do that tomorrow. But we shall see. We shall see. But I might be a way to do the giveaway that way tomorrow. Oh, I didn't go live on TikTok.
Welcome to the official 2020.
Day 4. Bam. But yeah, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Welcome to day 4 of the 5-day Master Your Money Challenge. Of course, I'm me, Nia Adams, creator and founder of Perspectives. And I'm showing up 5 days live to help you get better with money. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. Let me share my screen. I share my screen. So bam, there we go. We locked and loaded. So this is the 5-day money challenge. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up for yourself. I dedicated to do this challenge at least once a year. Sometimes I might end up doing it more than once, but at least once a year, I want to show up and do this challenge. I get great results. I normally get a lot of great feedback, tons of great feedback. So I think it's a good tool for you to use to get yourself started when it comes to trying to take control of your finances. Okay. So I'll just go ahead. Let me take myself out of the screen. So this challenge does have a giveaway. Today is day 4, and tomorrow I will be giving away a $100 Amazon gift card. Now, in order to get that Amazon gift card, you have to follow the rules of the giveaway. One of them is you have to follow me on 2 channels. Whatever channel you're watching this on, make sure you follow me, subscribe, whatever it is. And then you want to find another channel to do that. Okay. Second, you have to participate. So whenever I'm posting, you want to comment in the chat. Participation can look like you doing the homework and posting your badge the next day with the homework. That's another way for you to participate. And of course, sharing it. Tag your accountability partner in the chat. Make sure that you are, tag your accountability partner in the chat. Make sure that you are active in the live and communicating. I don't know why I just had a brain fart. But yeah, so that's one of the things you have to do if you want to get it. So I'll repeat the rules of how you can qualify for the giveaway. 1, you got to follow me on 2 channels. Whatever channel you're watching it on now, follow it and follow a different one. My assistant, it looks like she posted my social medias in the comments. 2, you want to participate. Comment in the chat while I'm talking. Could do your homework and post your badge. Make sure you're participating and showing up for yourself. And then you want to share it. You can share it by sharing the actual live that you're watching. You can share it by giving out the website. Now, if you don't have access to get the badges for you to comment, then you go to the5daymoneychallenge.com. That's it. Plain and simple, the5daymoneychallenge.com. And that way you'll sign up. Once you sign up, make sure you check your email. Sometimes they do send my emails to your spam and you don't want them to block your blessings. So make sure you go over there and let them know that you want to receive it by either marking that email as safe, or you can reply back to that email to let them know this is somebody that you know. So let me put that on the screen. So that's how you sign up, the 5daymoneychallenge.com. That's how you take advantage of the giveaway. Just those simple rules, and we're going to keep going. We're going to keep it going. Okay, let's recap. Let's recap what we did so far. Today is day 4 of the Master Your Money Challenge, but let's talk about all the things that we've done so far in this money challenge. So on day 1, we covered how to shift your mindset about money so you can create your own new lifestyle and relationship that you have with money. Then we worked on how you have limiting beliefs, or you have different things like doubting yourself and imposter syndrome that might affect the way that you use your money. So we talked talked about some of those things that affect your money habits so you can become more aware of why you might be struggling with your finances. Okay, that's what we talked about next. Then on day 2, we talked about eliminating financial clutter. We talked about organizing our finances, identifying goals and jobs per bank account so that we can be organized in how we manage our money. We're not going to make a payment or in the grocery store trying to purchase our groceries, and we got to go check every single account that we have to figure out where we have money at, because we already have our finances organized and we know where our money is and we know how much is there. Okay, so we're getting better with that. That's what we worked on. And then the whole point is you want to clean up the clutter so you can get to work on your finances. Then we talked about creating SMART goals, and SMART goals are very specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound goals so that we have our why, we have our WIFM. What's in it for me to take control of my finances? What's in it for me to be able to just do better about money? So that was the whole purpose of that. This to me is saying, like, some people always say that they don't like to save, or it's hard for them to save because they don't really see the goal. They don't see the point in saving because they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Well, to me, that means that you don't have SMART goals set up, because if you had SMART goals set up, they're so specific. They tell you what the light is at the end of the tunnel because they tell you exactly what you're working towards. So that's what I normally tell my students who say that. Anybody do their homework yesterday? Yesterday we went really deep. So yesterday was day 3, and that's when we started to really do the work. But I did day 1 and day 2 before day 3, because before you can start doing the work, 1, you have to identify that you're going to have to start making a change in the way you think. You're going to have to start identifying what you currently do that might be sabotaging your own finances, because you're going to have to start to work on those things before you can actually improve them. And then the next day we start identifying our goals and we start moving all the clutter out of our way. We're going through our closets, getting all those clothes that have still tags on them so that we can do better and we can possibly sell them to get more money to use towards our financial goals. But we all know when you operate in clutter, sometimes it just makes clutter apply to different parts of your life. So we got our mind right. We cleared the space and did what we needed to do so we can get to work. So on day 3, we started to get to work. We talked about debt repayment. I shared the 2 most popular debt repayment strategies yesterday, and I helped you figure out which strategy might be best for you, which one might be the one you need to use. Which one might be the one you need to use so you can help yourself get out of debt. We covered some of the ways that spending and how so many companies use different tactics to persuade you to think it's your idea to spend your money. We talked about that yesterday. We explored some of the spending triggers so you can figure out which ones are currently busting your budget. You can figure out which ones you are committing on a regular basis. And I shared some really specific and realistic ways that you can get in control of your spending. We broke down what a budget is and how there are so many different ways to budget and so many ways that you can tackle it. It's not one cut way. Personal finance is personal. Okay. So your personal finances apply to you. It's up to you to decide which way you do things. You do not have to do everything the way you see everybody else. That's why I share different ways to do things. If you find any of this helpful, please definitely make sure you tap the screen and like it so that they can share it other ways. So, and then the next thing I see that sometimes limits people from doing better about their money is they're ashamed of their financial mistakes. I've had several people who were reluctant to work with me, or they've been discouraged about working on their finances because they are ashamed, because they're ashamed about whatever financial mistakes they've made. They feel bad. They feel like, oh, they know they could do better. And the thing that I think most of us forget is that a lot of us just wasn't taught how we are supposed to do it. We're literally out here winging it in a society that is designed to make us feel like if we don't have the latest and greatest, then we're missing out. We spend a good percentage of our time on social media. Most likely, a lot of times we're comparing ourselves to other people. But the truth is, you shouldn't compare yourself to other people. And, you know, of course, it's true that what they're posting online might not necessarily be the truth. And it might be, you know, this big show that they're putting on. But the reality of it is, what if it is the truth that they're posting? So you can't really build your own self-esteem off imagining that their life is not as good as you think it is. You have to be able to build your own self-esteem and build your own journey and, you know, operate in your own self without having to compare yourselves to them at all, or even have to think, you know, because if you think about that, that you have to say, oh, well, they're probably not doing as good as I think, you essentially training yourself that you have to put them down in order to boost yourself up. So you want to learn and work to find sources within, okay, and not make it be dependent upon outside sources. As if you're watching this video today, then you're already doing something and taking a step towards getting your finances together. So tag your accountability partner. If they're not here, tag them so they can get over here, because it's everybody makes financial mistakes. So for that specific reason, I created this slide. I've made a lot of financial mistakes. I've been evicted with my daughter while she was a baby. I filed for bankruptcy. I foreclosed on a house. I've been laid off. I've hit rock bottom a couple of times. And yes, I've paid off $50,000 in debt, but it took me 2 years. It wasn't something that was like, oh, okay, bam, let me just pay this debt off real quick because, you know, I got it like that. It wasn't when I went to buy a house. I originally went to purchase my first house at 25. It took me till 27 to actually make the purchase. You see what I'm saying? So the important thing to remember is, one, nobody is perfect. And two, everybody make financial mistakes. You meet one millionaire that never had a financial mistake of their own, I'm going to tell you they're lying. And I mean, you could tell them I said it, because they have to be lying. So how does this work? How does this challenge work? This 5-day challenge works by me showing up every day for 5 days to do a live webinar. All I'm asking you to do is show up and show out for yourself. Okay. That's what I'm asking you to do. Do the homework assignments. Each day I'll give a homework assignment at the end of the day. Your job is to do that assignment, use the badges, and then post it the next day. Or you could post it the same day, up to you, but you use the badge and you post it with the homework. Now, when you sign up for the challenge, let me put this on the screen again. Hold on. When you sign up for the challenge at the5daymoneychallenge.com, you're going to receive an email that will have the badges in that email. Okay. That's what you're going to use to sign up. And once you do that, you'll be able to get your badges. You'll be able to join the group and get access to everything. Now, if you happen to sign up for the VIP access, you're going to get a few other things. One, you're going to get a workbook that you'll be able to have all of these homework assignments I have. The workbook is made super convenient. It has all of the assignments in there, and it also has a bonus assignment in the VIP workbook. I put something extra in there to help you because you took the extra step for yourself. So I had to show up and put the extra step in for you too. Now, if you want to join the VIP experience, link is right there on the screen. It's $47, but you get that. You get an extra live session with me on Zoom. You can ask whatever questions you have. And then, of course, what participation looks like. Participation looks like commenting. If I have asked a question, you can answer it in the chat. If you have a question about something that I'm teaching or some money concept that I'm talking about, you ask that question. It looks like doing your homework. And when you do your homework, using the badge to post it. I have several posts that I'm putting in the group also. Feel free to comment on those. All of those things are considered participation. And all of those things can help you win the giveaway. Okay. Because I know I could use an extra $100. I don't know about anybody else. And then last but not least, I actually, with this in mind, I know that the budget session that I did yesterday, it was not like all encompassing. Secondly, a lot of people normally come to me and tell me that they struggle with budgeting and that they'll start budgeting, but it's really hard for them to stick to it. So like they'll do it and it looks real pretty. It looks real nice that they write the budget out, but they really have the problem trying to stick to the budget. So I created a budget boot camp. My budget boot camp is next next week on February 1st. And you can sign up for that to join it. And I'm going to go through a live budget. So like, I'm literally going to take an Excel spreadsheet, do the budget on the spreadsheet. I mean, if you're interested in here on TikTok, you can get it in my link in bio, but I'm going to go through a live budget. Then I'm going to let the attendees give me a scenario. So like, I'm going to do my budget for the month, and then, or I'm doing it for a month, or I don't know, pick a month, a paycheck. Most likely I'll do a month. And then you'll be able to tell me, oh, my car broke down. I got to pay $800 to get my car fixed. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a budget where you're not derailing your finances. You're not offset, and now your whole month is messed up because of it, and show you what the process looks like. You take it from your savings, and then once you finish, you start to build that savings back up. So essentially, that's what the purpose of the budget bootcamp is. And I created it just because I get that problem a lot. So next, I want to take a moment to shout you out and want you to give yourself a round of applause. If you're here, if you're listening, this means you're taking a step to work towards doing better about your money. You're stopping to put some time and energy into yourself so you can help. So feel free to tap that screen over here, hit like, clap. Can I get some clap hand emojis? But clap for yourself and give yourself a round of applause, because it takes a lot of determination. It takes a lot of work for you to show up for yourself. Okay. It takes a lot for you to show up, and for you to show up, it also means that you had to admit to yourself that you was wrong. You had to admit to yourself that you messed up on something. And sometimes that's very hard to do. Sometimes that's a struggle for you to admit that you messed up with your money. But we all mess up with our money. So that's one of the reasons I teach personal finance the way that I do. I don't come in here to scold anybody. I don't come in here to tell anybody, oh, this is what I do, so because I do it this way, this is the way you have to do it. No, personal finance is personal. And you guys hear me say this every day, but you are worthy, deserving, and capable of financial stability. It's yours, and it's yours to have. And you're supposed to have it. But I just had to take that moment to shout you out for those who are listening, because, we are. So let's get into it. So today we already talked about this. We talked about debt. We talked about budgeting. One of the things that's going to be really huge in your financial journey, that's really going to help you do well and continue to do well in your financial journey, is being consistent. Okay. Being consistent. Consistent does not mean perfection. Consistent does not mean that, oh my God, every single day you're doing this every single day. It means you're consistent. You're consistently showing up for yourself. It doesn't mean 7 days a week you're doing something, but when you look at the month, you did it more days than you didn't do it. That's what it might look like at the beginning of your journey. So it's going to be okay that you're going to have days that you might mess up. It's going to be okay that you might have days that you might overspend. You might have a splurge session. The important thing to do is to just get back on it. Okay. So it's just like I say all the time, it's just like going on a diet. You can eat perfect for the most of the day and then get home and go off sides and go crazy. Does that mean tomorrow you give up? No, that just means tomorrow you try again and you start working on it again. So you have to get good at being consistent if you really want to make changes in your finances. Okay. One of the best things you can do is be consistent. Okay. So the next thing is making your goals a priority. Sometimes we say these big goals and we decide that we want to do things, but we don't make them a priority. And sometimes that takes a process. It's not something that's going to happen quick. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, but you have to make your goals a priority. You are making yourself a priority. This is an investment in yourself. Managing your money is a form of self-care, believe it or not, because it gives you peace of mind. Having your money together and knowing where your money is, knowing how much money you have at any given moment, and then you see something and you don't even have to look at anything. You already know in your head, yes, I can afford this. No, I can't afford this. No, I can't afford it right now, but I'm going to have this much money left when I get paid next week. So if I can, carry the 2, drop the 1, okay, I can be able to get this in this long. The fact to know that by heart and know that in your mind, that to me is peace of mind. Rather than not knowing, not having a clue, you pulled on the side of the road because your tire blew and you have no idea if you can afford to get that tire fixed. You have no idea. What if it's something bigger? that's stressful. But if you know in your head, like, yeah, it's an inconvenience. Yes, I got to call a tow truck, but I know I have the money to pay the tow truck. I know I have the money to get my car fixed. That's a level of calm and a level of adulting that a lot of us aspire to have. And it just feels better for me. Like, for example, I'm going on a road trip soon. I want to take my car to the shop before I go on this road trip so that I can be able to make sure I'm good and that my car is not going to break down while I'm on this road trip. Well, it feels good that the only reason I haven't taken my car to the shop this week is because I've been extremely busy. But I know I can afford to take care of it when I take it to the shop. Like, that's a peace of mind to me that now I'm going to feel better on the road because I know that my car has been checked out. I know my brakes been checked. I know my oil is fresh. All of those things is just going to give me peace of mind. Okay. And then you got to start making the shift. I talked about this before. When you hear yourself saying negative things, when you hear yourself saying certain things, you have to start to change it. She said, that's so true. When your money funny, you feel funny. I know that's right. When your money is funny, you feel funny. That's absolutely the truth. Absolutely. But yeah, so you have to start making a shift. If you hear yourself saying things in your mind and they're negative. So for example, you know what your weakness is. Everybody, if you know what your weakness is, type I know in the chat. I know what my weakness is. My weakness is flights. I like to travel. I like to buy flights. I like to go places. Okay. So for me, I have to watch myself when I see flight deals because I know. So when I know I'm at my limit for the year, I can't go on any more trips this year because I need to learn how to pay and figure out how I'm going to pay for the trips I already got. I have to start shifting myself because I have to start thinking about it in the sense of, dang, I can't go on no more trips. Sis, you already got some. Sat down, pipe down a little bit. So I have to check myself. I have to bring myself back together. And that's what you have to do to yourself. So it's a mind shift that you have to start to make instead of thinking of, oh, I can't do this thing I want to do. Look what you're already doing, sis. Look what you already are taking care of and have. So we create that like want and that want for more when we consistently focus on what we don't have as opposed to what we do have. Oh, food. Oh, yes. Food is a big one. Every time I've ever asked anybody what they splurge on when they get paid, they say that it's food. Everybody I know, they say they splurge on food when they get paid. And if you do, then you could put it in the chat that you do. But that's the biggest one that people say they splurge on food. That's funny though. But yeah, so then another part is remembering that nobody is perfect. Everybody has their own process. Everybody goes up, it goes down. You can't be perfect. Practice, I know they say practice makes perfect, but my assistant taught me practice makes progress because nobody's perfect. So all you can do is practice and practice and practice to make progress, which is all you should be aiming for. Aim for progress. Food is number one. Yes, food is absolutely the number one splurge, especially with all these food delivery apps. And we talked about food delivery apps. I think that was yesterday. We talked about food delivery apps. If you're having problem with them and you're really trying to work on your finances, you're trying to pay down credit card debt, delete your credit cards from those food delivery apps because if I'm in a sense where I'm trying to pay down my debt, I'm trying to get control of my finances, I'm trying to get a hold of what I'm spending my money on. If I don't have the money to pay this credit card off, then I can't use this credit card for food delivery apps because I'm using this credit card and I know that I can't pay it back. And I'm going to tell myself, and anybody definitely show yourself if this is you, but you buy it and you say, oh, when I get paid, I'm going to pay it off. But when you get paid, you don't. Because life happens. Life is going to happen. Life is not going to stop happening. So if that's not something that you're already in the habit of doing and you're not already disciplined to pay your card off all, at the end of the month, then you might want to think about if you're going to tell yourself that lie and ordering stuff that's on sale, even if yes, we talked about that yesterday. You buy things and the reasons why you spend. So just to give a little recap, yesterday we talked about spending and the way that people spend and the things that make people spend. So one of the things that makes people spend is perceived value, which basically means that they think that this thing costs so much money and they think they're getting it so much of a deal that it's like, oh, I have to buy this because this is worth this much money, but I'm getting it for this much, so I have to buy it. And then the next thing is if something's on sale. Oh, they said that's me. The next thing is if it's on sale. So if it's on sale, it's like, oh, well, I got to get this because it's on sale because I saved this much money. No, sis, you did not save $50. You spent $200. Last time I did this challenge, one of the people said their grandma told them that if you didn't intend on spending that money when you left the house, guess what? You didn't save anything because you didn't intend on spending that money. Yes, zero is a balance. Zero is a balance. Okay, so and then the last but not least thing that you have to work on to be consistent is you have to be okay with being uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have moments where you're sitting there, you're sulking, you're pouting. You're going to have moments where you feel like this awkwardness where you want to buy this, but I don't. You're going to go through different phases of this because you have to build this journey and make it your own. This is a lifestyle change. So you have to be okay with being uncomfortable. Be okay with starting to change your normal habits. Okay with starting to change the things that you normally do. You have to be okay with doing those things. That's one way to help yourself start to become consistent. Okay. And then saving. So we've talked a lot about spending. We've talked about debt repayment. We talked about debt repayment, saving. We talked about beliefs and things like that. One of the things that we have to talk about is saving money. And the big question is, why are we saving? Well, one of the big reasons why we save is because we got financial goals. We got things we're trying to do. We got goals out here. That's what my personal trainer tells me. Whenever I complain about some exercise, he comes or he wants to put new weights on me and change the weights that I'm doing. And I look at him and I talk stuff. What he tell me? We got goals out here. He said, we got goals out here. And that's what it is. You're saving because you have goals. You're saving because you're not quite happy with where you are right now. You're saving because you looked at your 2022 money habits and it wasn't given. So you're deciding that, okay, it's time to make some things shake around here. We're going to get these goals right together. So that's why you're saving. You're saving because if you have an unexpected expense, anybody in here already been poached by their coworkers asking them to buy Girl Scout cookies? Because I know I've been poached about Girl Scout cookies, and that's not an expected expense. I'm not putting a Girl Scout cookies in my budget in December to say that my coworker is going to come to me to ask me to buy Girl Scout cookies. So that's an unexpected expense. If something happens to my car, sometimes you do find things and you do have impulse buys that you want to purchase and something that you really need, that you've been needing, but you like, okay, I need to get this right now while it's on sale. If that's the case, then that's where you can use those savings. Peace of mind, like I talked about before, travel funds. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a big traveler and these flight prices have been atrocious. So for me, I have to save. So then when I see a good flight deal or I see a good opportunity to go somewhere I've been wanting to go, I have the funds to do so. And I'm not having to, they have imitation. They said they have imitation cookies at Aldi's for $167. Now don't sleep on Aldi's. Aldi's is like, my dad was just talking about Aldi's the other day. It's these cookies that he used to get from Aldi's when I was young. They're called Matt's cookies. Matt's cookies is sold in the bigger stores now. Matt's cookies cost money now. So don't sleep on Matt's now. Don't sleep on Matt's. But yeah, and flexibility, having money and having your little stush fund or whatever you want to call it, it just gives you the flexibility to do more things. It gives you the ability, like, for example, I went to New York. I'm a alumni of the Goldman Sachs 1 Million Black Women Black in Business program. And when we were on our way back, it was some weather in Chicago. So I had a nonstop flight coming back to Chicago from New York, but that flight got canceled. After that flight got canceled, they put me on another flight that wasn't a nonstop. And that flight was going through Washington Reagan Airport, I think. Now it's already 4 or 5 o'clock and they delayed that flight shortly after I got to that gate. I sat down, I said, yeah, no, this is what we're not going to do. So I had the ability to change my flight free of charge because they had canceled my original flight. So I just switched my flight to the next morning and I booked me a hotel. That's the flexibility I was allowed because I had funds available to do so. So those are the type of things, like, you know how stressful it would have been that now I got to go to Washington Reagan. Then they probably would have had to give me a voucher there. And once I got to my hotel, I checked the flight again. It had got delayed again. So that means I would have been sitting in the airport at Washington Reagan, or they would have had to give me a voucher. Then I would have had to stand in line with everybody else and wait to get a voucher. So the flexibility that it affords you. And then my friend, she bought her kids their first car. She was able to do that because she saved. So it's like, it's just so many possibilities you can create that will help you and help you do better. Now, the question is now, how do you save? How do you save? So it's so many different ways that you can save, and there's so many different strategies that you can use. So you can use a no spend month. If you're somebody trying to work on your spending and you're trying to get better with the ways that you spend, and you know it might be a little work for you, try a no spend month. Now, a no spend month, you're not supposed to spend on unnecessary expenses for that month. Of course, your first time doing this, it might cause you, you might have some ups and downs. You might fall off a little bit a couple of times. It is what it is. But the goal is for you to spend less. So as long as you got to the end of that session or the end of that month and you spent less than you spent before, a win is a win. A win is a win. And then you try it again. You see what I'm saying? But the goal of it is you spend less. As long as you're spending less and you're making progress, that's exactly what you want to do. Money challenges. So anybody have seen those 52-day challenges that we have? You can save $1,000 in 52 weeks. You can save $500 in 52 weeks. Those challenges are very helpful because they start you off. Maybe each week you might save $10 at first, $20 at first, but it basically shows you how that money will stack on top of each other. Then the savings snowball. The snowball does not only have to be for debt. If you continue to save money, it builds up into a snowball also. And that just basically means you use your extra money towards saving. So you start off with a small amount, and that's your amount that you save every month. And as you free up more money, may it be focus groups, surveys, elimination of debt. If you have a specific saving goal that you're attacking at that current moment, you continue to let that snowball build until you reach your goal. Then your emergency fund. We've all heard the term emergency fund. You essentially, it used to be 3 months. I think after the pandemic and everything else that has gone on, all these layoffs and currently everything that's going on right now, I think you should save more than 3 months. I don't think that 3 months is enough anymore. I think you need to be saving at least 6 months because of everything that's going on now. Then next, multiple savings accounts. If you have problems where you consistently dip into your savings after you save, you need to have separate auto send money to E-Trade and put exactly. Now, see, that's on the next level right there. You're investing your money. So you're making your money, you're letting your money make babies is what you're doing. Your money is fertile. Okay. That's another great way to save. And that's a way that your money is going to be working with you. You won't be the only one working. So it's many ways that you can save. And then I always tell people, set micro goals. If you're trying to save $1,000 by the end of the year, break that down to how much you got to save by the end of the month. Break that down to how much you got to save by the end of the week. Give yourself micro goals because it gives you quicker wins. Okay. Now, why is it so hard to save? I can't talk and tell you, oh, well, you could just do this to save. That's all you got to do. It's so easy, because that wouldn't be realistic. That wouldn't be realistic at all. So why is it so hard to save? This whole thing is about executive decisions. Okay. Executive decisions, deciding what your needs are versus your wants. And sometimes that can be a little hard. Sometimes that looks different to different people. Some people, this might be a need, while for somebody else, that might be a want. You want to buy that house or you want to go to Hawaii? I'm just saying, you want to wear the same clothes or you need to have a new fit every time you go. That's the decisions you got to ask yourself. And then the last two, lifestyle creep. So a lifestyle creep is one way that people spend all the time and you don't even realize that you're spending more money. It starts off with you getting a raise, a promotion, a new job, or anything like that. And because you got that new raise, you start to upgrade your lifestyle along with your increase in funds. Now, if you have financial goals you're trying to meet, you have high debt balances, you have no emergency fund, you looking to start investing, That's what you should do with that money, as opposed to upgrading your cable and internet package, going to get a new phone. So now you have new payments you have to make that you didn't have to make before. Because essentially what you end up doing is you create so many expenses to account for the new income that you're going to make, that now you technically don't have any new income. You're technically now just in the same predicament that you were already in the first place. So you're creating that lifestyle creep where your expenses are creeping along with your income. One of the best things to do is, like, for me personally, when my income increases, I increase my deduction to my retirement accounts. I increase my money to my investments, because I can't miss what I never had. And I've been living fine and paying my bills before I got this raise. So when I get the raise, instead of me upgrading my lifestyle, I'm going to upgrade my investments, because I want even more money out there working for me, as opposed to me having to do all the goddamn work. I'm just saying. Now, the next one is the Diderot effect. The Diderot effect is essentially, if you have something, like, say, for example, you in your kitchen and it's Christmas time and somebody gets you a nice new air fryer. Okay. Somebody gets you a nice new air fryer, this nice new air fryer, and you sit it on the counter in your kitchen. But now all the appliances next to it, they look old and shabby now. They don't look all nice and new and spiffy and beautiful as this new air fryer you just got. So now in your mind, you go to start to replace those other appliances. And now you need a whole new line of appliances because somebody gave you one appliance. You didn't have to spend that money because those other appliances was working just fine before you got that new one. Okay. Nothing stopped working about them just because you got a new air fryer. You just have to understand that just because I have a new something does not mean I need to upgrade everything I have, because now I'm just creating expenses for myself, whereas I didn't have to have these expenses. Okay. So the bottom line of all of these options on here that make it harder for you to save is executive decisions. Is you having to be mindful of your goals. So if you notice, that's why I keep saying you have to be mindful. You have to stay focused. You have to be consistent, because there's going to be so many things coming at you, giving you reasons why you should spend your hard-earned money, which are going to derail your financial goals. So you have to be mindful and make those executive decisions like, nope, not to me, not today, not on my watch. Or my favorite saying, not my monkey, not my circus. Like, that's not my problem or my business. You need to stay focused on the goal that you have at hand. Yeah, you might slip up sometimes, but you want to build up that consistency. Okay. Now, common mistakes that we make that cause us to derail our savings, spend more money, all of the above, and just our finances as a whole. One of them is your credit card is not an emergency fund. Using your credit card as an emergency fund can ultimately cause you to be in a lot of debt, especially if you don't have the money to pay that credit card off immediately. Because now you not only have to pay what you charged on that credit card, you have to pay the interest that's going to consistently accrue and consistently add to your balance until you pay it off. And if you're paying a minimum balance, that could be a while. Never ending payments. You all know how it is. It's January. You decide in January you want a personal trainer. You go to that personal trainer all of 2 weeks, but you have a year contract. Or you purchase something that has a subscription and you use it all of 2 months, but now after 2 months, you're not using it anymore. But guess what? That bill is constantly still hitting your bank account every single month, snatching that little money out your, you know who's going to be consistent? They're going to be consistent. They're going to consistently snatch that money out your bank account nice and easy. And they're going to try to sneak in real quiet and sneak back out to make sure you don't remember to cancel them. Okay. And we kind of talked about that a little bit with subscriptions and free trials yesterday. Okay. Then the biggest question I get a lot of times from my students, clients, online, whatever, they ask me, should they pay off debt with their retirement? Should I take a loan for my retirement to pay off debt? Should I use a personal loan to pay off debt? Should I use my tax refund to pay off debt? Should I use my savings and just pay off debt with my savings? My question, not my question, my answer is always going to be, Did you do the work to change the money habits that created the credit card debt or created the high balances in the first place? If your answer is no to that question, then my answer is no to your question, because it will do you no good if you pay all of that off with that quick windfall of money, or you pay all of that off. Oh, I got my taxes. You feel good about yourself because you paid the balance off. But the reality is, if you didn't correct the bad money habits, they're not going anywhere. The bad money habits are not going to change just because you decided you wanted to pay your old debt off. I mean, it's great. It's going to give you a nice boost. It's a nice ego boost, but it's also temporary, because if you didn't correct the habits, guess what you're going to do? You're going to run it right back up. It's just like when you lose weight and then you sit down for it seemed like a week and now you weigh more than you weigh in the first place. Like, yeah, it's essentially the same thing. Like I said the other day, one of the statistics show most of the people who win the lottery and win big money in the lottery, a year later, they're worse off than they were before they won the lottery, because essentially it's about your money habits. Those things are not going to make you all of a sudden miraculously not run up your debt anymore. That's already your lifestyle. Retirement savings, another common mistake. People do not start saving for retirement at all. They don't think about retirement. They don't even, and a lot of people are like, well, oh, I don't know what to do. You got to start looking out and finding resources and learning about it. If nothing else, your job gives you paperwork to teach you about it. Start reading that. Put the work in to start to figure it out. Don't use that you don't know as a way to discourage you from looking into it. I know there's a fear associated with it, but one of the biggest weapons against fear is education. Okay. And then don't buy a new house first before you correct your money habits. So for those of you who don't know, I wrote a book called Life is Short, Buy the House. This book is because I wrote it because so many people jump into home ownership without knowing the ins and out of home ownership, without knowing all the different people and parts that are a part of it. And again, if anybody wants that book, you can find the link in my bio. But so many people jump into, oh, bam, yes, your bank provides tips and tricks. Yes, in this day and age, most banks, they provide tips, tricks, information, resources. Some banks will look at your spending in your account and tell you where your money is going. Credit cards do that too, because I have a credit card that tells me what percentage of money I spend on that card. So we have a lot more resources. I talked about that the other day. We have way more resources out here that can help us do better about it. So yes, good point. Thank you for that, Anthony. But yeah, so a lot of people jump into home ownership and they don't do anything. There's like 10 steps to the home buying process. But if you've never seen it, you've never experienced it, you don't know how to get a lender, you don't know how to get a realtor. And so I've created a book with the one-stop resource that kind of shows you all of those things, talks you through how to prepare your finances for home ownership. Because if you just go and buy the house first, but you didn't figure out if you could afford the house, you didn't figure out, how much house can I afford? How much house should I be looking for? How do they determine how much house I should be looking for? What type of factors in my application is the loan officer or the bank looking at, and why are they looking at them? So I wrote the book kind of from the standpoint to tell you what you need to do, but also explain to you why the bank wants to know that information. So essentially, that's one of the common mistakes people make. They go purchase a house, but they don't make sure they can afford the house, and then they get themselves in a real sticky situation. So bam, that's it. The homework for today will be determining your why. Okay, so we talked about savings today. Savings will always be your seed money to wealth. They'll be your startup capital when you want to do a business. It'll be your beginning money when you want to invest. Savings can help give you peace of mind, all of that above. So what are you going to save for? That's the homework. Figuring out what your saving goals are. And those saving goals are going to be written like SMART goals, aren't they? Because we know about SMART goals now. We know how to create a SMART goal. So, okay. So we're going to create SMART goals for our savings goals to say how much we're going to save. We're going to say how long we have to save that amount, and we're going to be realistic with it. And we're going to give ourselves a deadline. So that's what your homework is for tonight, to decide what you want to save towards, what you want to do. Thank you. Today's homework. So again, if you want to sign up for this challenge, the website is the 5daymoneychallenge.com. So feel free to go ahead and sign up there. It'll also get you on my email list. I share money tips, healthy recipes, credit tips, health and fitness tips. I basically partner with other brands and other people so that I can keep those tips going. We have a mental health moment every month on my email list, all of the above. But that's today's homework, determining your why. Like, what are you saving for? And make sure your responses are SMART goals. Okay. Again, you want to join the 5daymoneychallenge.com. If we have any questions? Did anybody do the homework? That's what I want to know. Did anybody do the homework? Because I think I'm going to use the giveaway thing I just learned about from Anthony. I think I'm going to use that to do a giveaway tomorrow. That's what I think I'm going to do. We shall see. But if you have any questions, definitely drop your questions in the chat. But essentially, this was the end of day 4 of the 5-day money challenge. So tomorrow will be day 5. I will be right back here, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Can you remind me the acronym for SMART? So the acronym for SMART is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Okay? SMART means specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. That's what the acronym for SMART is. So yeah, no problem. Yes, the giveaway will be tomorrow, the last day of the challenge. Tomorrow is the giveaway. Are you excited? I mean, I'm no Oprah or nothing. It's just $100 gift card. It's not going to be no cars under y'all seats and nothing like that. I don't have that kind of money. It's going to be a little Amazon gift card, but it will be tomorrow. And I'll be here tomorrow live, 6 p.m. Oh, let me put this up here. 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll be live again. And that will officially be the 5th day of the money challenge. Can y'all believe it? I showed up 5 days. Oh, thank you. Appreciate you. See, my assistant is the bomb, boy. Woo, your assistant could never. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound goals. Okay, that's a SMART goal. The purpose of it being that goal and meeting that criteria is because you're more likely to achieve it, because you have the ability to see, like, if I say I'm going to save, I don't know, $5,000 by the end of December 2023. When I get to June, I can look and see if I get to June and I have $2,000 saved and I know I need to be at $5,000 by the end of the year. That's going to tell me, okay, you need to put a little in it. You need to put a little pep in your step because you're a little bit behind. But if you don't give yourself any specific amount that you're saving for, then you're just saving aimlessly. You don't really have a GPS to your finances. And then if you don't set a time on it, you don't give yourself that hump like, okay, I need to work towards it to get it. So if I get to June, I've only saved $2,000 and I know I need to have $5,000 by the end of the year. Okay, I need to come on. I need to start dedicating extra money to this so I can do a better job of reaching this goal. You want to make it realistic, because if I saved $5,000 last year, the chances of me saving $1 million this year, that's a big stretch. You see what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that the goals are realistic, time-bound, they're attainable, you're able to get them. So it's just giving a good criteria to think about when you're deciding what your goal is. And if it meets that criteria, it's a better chance of you making it than just making any random goal and saying, oh, I want to save some money. That doesn't really give you an idea of how much you want to save, how long you expect to be able to save it in, how diligent you need to be about saving it, because you don't have a deadline. So when you don't have a deadline, I don't know about you, but I tend to procrastinate. If I don't have a set deadline, my deadline is not firm, I'll be lacking a little motivation. I can be honest with myself, and I know myself. I'm self-aware to know that I need a deadline to say when I'm going to have to do this by. So any questions? If we have questions, I'll answer them now. If not, we will be done with day 4 officially. Let me know. The giveaway is tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. It will be Friday. Happy Friday Eve. Giveaway is on Friday. Woohoo! Giveaway tomorrow. Yes, be sure to join us tomorrow for awesome tips and a giveaway at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. You all have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming. Oh, and if you want to join a VIP experience, here is the link. It's at my website /VIP. What do you get with the VIP? With the VIP, you get the workbook that comes with it. You'll get unlimited access to watch these videos as many times as you want to. You'll get, and if you sign up for the challenge, you'll automatically get told about the VIP. So you'll get a workbook. With that workbook, all the homework assignments that I've talked about throughout this challenge, there's already work, pages in that workbook dedicated to each homework assignment. Okay. And then you also get the Zoom, go on Zoom with me after each day's session. And you can ask me whatever questions you have, because sometimes you have questions that are more specific to your situation and it might not fit to ask a question. And then just be real. Some people don't want to put their business out in the street to ask in an open public forum and put them in the chat. So if that's what you're looking for, you need that special exclusive experience, then you need to be a VIP. So you all have a great one. I don't see any questions. I thank you all for coming. I thank you all for showing up for yourself. Give yourself one last round of applause, because for real, I know it's not easy for me, so I know it's not easy for you guys. It was work. It was work. My money story is a mission, baby, a testimony. All right. You all have a good one.